once knew a spy. She was brilliant, erratic, cursed, an anti-personal mine in human form. Her friends called her Herschel, but to her controllers, she was Cascade.
Your name and your cryptonym. A dead limb twitches.
The abandoning kind. One by one, she watched her friends go out like distant lights. Portofino 91, the whole sick crew. A disaster untold, a black page in the official records.
The memory hums, an exposed wire.
Reports of how it went down remain contested, inconclusive. All that's certain, it began with a phone call and ended with 6 spies lost. Some say she blew the network herself. Others blame structural factors or transnational capital. The rest just shake their heads as they look down on the smashed and leaking world. Some fool dropped it. One of ours, probably. She was recalled. They put her in the freezer. Forever. Most thought. Even in those dark days, there were whispers among the lower sublevels, where they keep the true believers. Don't count Cascade out. 5 years passed. A little more of the world leaked out of itself. Cascade's controllers ordered her back to Portofino. Because I asked them to. There is a new assignment, Cascade. I was supposed to give you the brief. No one special, just an arm-like sack of cytoplasm, a special move unique to single-cell organisms. But before that, I was like you, a spy for the People's Republics, one of the varieties of mankind. Right here. In an armchair in a safe house above a 24-hour photo shop in the city-state of Portofino. This is a dangerous place, Cascade. I should never have come. I got caught with my pants down. On the plus side, I no longer have to worry about independent thought or movement. We're not. This is all you, conversing with your own mental projections, reconciling the dissonance inherent to your role, like you were trained to do. Life is beautiful, cruel, full of hidden cues that I missed. Maybe next time. Don't blame yourself, operant. Whatever happens has already happened.
Displayed on the chair before you was a man, approximately mid-30s. His chest rises and falls in steady rhythm as he stares beyond you. Alive, yet not alive. His eyes are fixed glassily on the ceiling. The pupils quiver like a failing heartbeat. No response, no jolt, no tremor. All posts deserted. Stiff-collared shirt, a snug brown jacket, and nothing below the waist but a pair of red briefs. As your eyes reach his feet, you notice that the man is also wearing 3 layers of socks, each slightly shorter than the one beneath it. This detail strikes you as very sad. The green of long-corroded copper. As for the face around the eyes, his jaw hangs slack, his glasses askew. The lopsided headphones accentuate a large bald spot atop his crown. There is no smell of alcohol, nor any open containers, no drug paraphernalia either, just a loose cord trailing to the stereo system. Your fingers detect a faint, steady pulse within the base of his wrist. Elevated, but not critical. When in theatre, an operant must always prepare to be assassinated. Of course, it is better not to be killed. No vomit, no discoloration on the skin, no bruising or signs of struggle. And if it's poison, it's a bizarre strain. The first casualty of an undeclared war. The man's eyes glisten. Bright red veins blossom around their edges. If so, you've walked right into it. Forces are in terrible motion, gliding like spirits across your plane of understanding. However he ended up like this, the result is the same. Operant lost. A snail's trail of dried saliva glints on the side of his chin. The people's spy cannot be caught shirking. Time to escalate. Clipped to the inside flap of his jacket, you find a laminated badge, emblazoned with the crest of the Import-Export Bureau of the People's Republic of Kohila. The name reads, Esteman T. Below that, a title, Im Ex-Lead Hosiery. Sock Merchant, one of the opera's most battle-tested covers. That's what the badge says. And look how well that worked out for him. You remain ungovernable. No, in the official parlance, you. Then you. But not before. And wearing the wares for ease of display. An operant committed to his role. 3 other things of note. A slip of paper, a business card, and a rock-hard piece of candy. It's a purchase order for 10 socks, made out to Carmuna Pessoa, Fashions and Garments Bootleg Bazaar. Bootleg Bazaar. No coordinates found. Some kind of marketplace. and not one you've ever... 5 pairs, 10 socks. This is not a real order. It's a sympathy order. He obviously made an impression on this Carmuna. The slip of paper grows heavy in your hand. It feels like a baton. The card is cheap and scuffed. It reads, "All you need is miracle," above a cartoonish image of disembodied lips at a phone receiver. Notably absent is an actual phone number. There's an indecipherable scribble. Whatever's written seems to begin with a D. Into your pocket it goes. A wrapped-up rectangle of compressed sugar. It's so hard that your fingers cannot make an impression, no matter how much you strain. Cola flavor, if you had to guess. It takes 5 jaw tenses before you manage to shatter it. Sugary daggers jab the inside of your mouth. After a few more game attempts to chew, it takes all the will you possess to swallow the jagged claw. You retract your hand from the man's pockets. You grab him by his skinny shoulders and heave him upright, his head lolling backwards as he rises. This non-reaction is alarmingly reactionary. If keeping him is no gain, then losing him is no deficit. He lands in an awkward position, a cut-string puppet, bony hips raised to the air like antennas. Flaunting a reactionary pose, further insult. Leave the brief hog where he lies. He does not respond, though if you didn't know any better, his deserted eyes seem to be urging you towards the bathroom. A drop of blood shines on his lip. He must have bitten his tongue on the way down. Out of his chair he looks smaller, more fragile, and deeply lost. Saliva leaks from the corner of the man's mouth and pools on the floor. Your double didn't notice your arrival. He doesn't notice your departure either. Following the cord from the unconscious man's headphones, you come to a mid-sized home stereo resting on a sideboard. Through the translucent view panel, you see a single red disc loaded in place. On the face of the disc are the words, "Ultravioletta, you but from a dream," handwritten on thin strips of tape. You don't recognize the artist. So is the disc, ready to spin. The chunky button makes a satisfying little thunk as you push it in. The discus begins to turn, You know because the spindle was rotating, though the speakers don't produce any sound at all. No sound, save the thin layer of static. It doesn't appear to be. The disc is spinning the way it's meant to. The music player blinks, slowly. Or do you? The silence is being overtaken by a different silence, like the slow darkening of night across the wall of an empty room. This new silence seeps into every corner of your body, loosening fixtures, rattling drawers. There is still no sound, but in your mind an image forms of a blasted heath, a smouldering circle at its centre. Figures in tattered robes stagger and sway on the horizon. The static quiets as you reset the volume. A brief internal hum, then the disc slides halfway out of the machine. You remove the red disc and place it into your pocket. As you turn away, a phone begins to ring. You pick up the phone. The handset vibrates in your palm. Before you even finish speaking the word, the device connected to your phone base splits it into 256,000 encrypted fragments. Half a world away, a familiar voice splits into a corresponding number of fragments before coalescing again by your ear.
Please tell me you have good news.
The voice of authority. Don't let her down. Become the operant she needs you to be.
Operant, you made it. Your voice hasn't changed. We'll get to catch-ups later. Put pseudopod on the line.
You glance over at the man face down on the floor. This is wrong. You shouldn't be here. This should be You're looking at a Sugar Hill Executive Series 2, a cursed model, plagued by numerous debilities, most commonly a chronically misaligned paper tray. The machine is silent. The amber light blinks. From the machine bowels comes a pleasing chunk as the plastic tray slots back into its receiver. The paper belt purrs as
Much better, thank you. Operant, I would never.
She would. She will. You turn away from the fax machine.
Operant? Nothing, I'm afraid. I'll be here if you require.
I can do this. I can take you on. I'm your man.
The middle-aged man cranes his neck to look at the top of the pylon. You can see the blue fabric of a worker's uniform under his high-vis vest. He blinks at the interruption, startled out of his mantra. Renotel, a diversified communications company local to the state of Portofino, immediately recognizable by its dolphin logo. That thing he's carrying has got buttons, a little antenna. That's a grade A thingy, all right.
I would say we're all short of one these days. That must be referring to the Miracle Line. It's the old payphone along the back ways, west of the dock. No, that kind of thing isn't for me. It's just part of the job to know about it. Make sure...
He really wants you to believe that.
Must be just over a decade at this point. The line cannot go down. Not even for a second.
A single thread, fraying.
The reason being, or so I've heard, is that Renotel would incur a bill of such whopping proportions. No further details, unfortunately. The unrealized loss, they call it. The company's big secret. Gnawing away at its foundation like a rat in the shadows. Sure. You'll have to be more specific. Seen a couple of guys who match that description. Not that I pay much attention to them. I don't think I'm tall enough to see other men. The uniform of all those type of men. Good point. It's been a while since I saw them. Right you are. None that I know of. Which reminds me, I really should get around to registering for a GP.
It won't do him much good. His body's reaching the point where aches and pains are par for the course.
Lots of things. Primarily, it picks up wireless networks, radio frequencies, and electrical signals so you can track their It would be more relevant to my experience. But
Old technology is one of the few places the past can
I wish I could say that. But oh, it's just me trying and failing to do much.
A feeling you know well enough.
It's embarrassing, really. I'm overqualified for this position, and yet I can't even... Now I've said it out aloud. Yes, I would agree. Put it this way. I'm a qualified engineer with years of
Whatever he's hiding, it isn't pleasant. It destroys...
I'm hired to perform any necessary maintenance on the arteries.
Technical words that only mean something to those with the prerequisite knowledge.
The wireless phone network is routed through electronic boxes called arteries. They work like the old terminal boxes, except they are no... Renotel has been upgrading its payphones across the city. They pretty much all run on wireless signals now. Mad, isn't it? We can send telephony data through the air now using radio. The owner of Renotel, the rich guy at the top of it all. The company is named after him. A Imagine being the one man in charge of telecommunications across the city. I think he's a liberal, actually. Yes, one of the old terminals. It's a terrible tangle of cables up there. But I can. The part I'm struggling with is climbing up this ladder.
A man stood on a cliff's edge, constantly expecting even the ground to fall from under him.
Oh no, you really shouldn't. Not only is it dangerous, but qualified Renotel technicians are the only persons. No, but that's not a reason for you to do it. Where to even start? I'm scared of heights, wild boars, drains, tuk-tuks, teenagers. Pretty much. That's part of what makes this job so hard. I take some reassurance in knowing I am not alone in my struggle. You haven't been there.
He doesn't answer, at least not with words. No need when your body language matches a spider as it stiffly curls up in a ball to die.
I've had them for about a decade. I only had one or two at first.
He grimaces, wearing the same look as when you asked him about the moon.
As I already said, I would rather not talk about it. Scared of that too. Yes, so am I. A terrible thing to live within the ruins.
His soft heart has had to nestle among wild things.
Not a lot, unfortunately. I do collect magnets, though.
Sounds like our man here is missing out on having a gang to confide in.
It's a lifetime hobby. I always... Oh, well, that's good to know. Same as everyone else. Mining cadmium, lithium, and other...
Laloons, once a powerful empire, now reconstituted as a modern techno-fascist state. The rising military and cultural power of the day. Mention of Laloos never fails to make your hairs stand attentive. He hid it well. What else could he be hiding?
Not for any good reason. It hardly supports life, but is all too ready to offer up a drawn-out death. Statistically, there is more death happening around us here, but it is much crueler on the moon. Perhaps because the spirit is divorced from its home soil. As do I. It's a comfort to know that it won't have to travel hundreds of thousands. Very much. It's fairly peaceful. And I've always been quite fond of seafood. Though I...
As you depart, the chant of "I'm your man" slanted aluminium box is bolted into the pylon spine. Beneath the friendly dolphin emblem, the word Renotel was etched into the metal. Cold and hard, but the playful smile remained. Inside, a slab of beige plastic, an old terminal. Behind a clouded sheet of polyglass, the screen remains black. No buttons on the outer housing that you can see. No glowing standby light. Your fingers find a steel drawer. It slides out with a creak, revealing a keyboard designed for gloves. A low wavering whine. Behind glass, the cathode ray tube flickers once, twice, then flashes white. System waking. Please wait. Mem check. 00016 KB. OK ports. Com1, Com2, AUX, trunk. Diagnostic mode enabled. Welcome to Renotel Control version 1.2. Available commands. 1. Line diag. 2. Trunkmon. 3. Network. So the name suggests. As for what kind of diagnostics? Around you, hundreds of landlines run up and down the pylon. Assuming you had some way to identify the line based on the available options, this is a maintenance terminal. You might be able to get information on the Renotel network from here. You know, for monitoring trunks. Only one way to find out. The screen flickers, awaiting your input. Line diagnostic mode. Enter landline identifier to proceed. Line ID. The machine's internal speaker beeps sharply. A random array of numbers. The screen Available commands. 1. Line. The screen flickers, awaiting your input. You close the box.
Oh, you're back. None at all.
As you depart, the chant You step over the threshold and into a memory. This place, this bar, the center of the frozen world. Old schnapps and the faded sour cologne of body odor and bleach. Soft yellow light filtered through cracked shades. The rumble of the ice machine. A hissing television. Favorite den of Keysok's local pelota squad and their partisans, as well as a certain disgraced spy of the Operant Bureau. You discover your thumb rubbing itself along the numberless business card you found on your double. You glance towards the bartender, a younger woman you don't recognize. The best part about this place is that it's open all night, every night. Its doors are always open to you, as they are now. On the wall above, mounted like the taxidermied head of a bull moose, is a top scratched and yellowed porcelain, a notable smudge on the lip of the sea. Brown. Do not entertain further investigations of what the smudge may be. It's safe to assume that you don't want to know. From across the room, the bartender notices your gaze and the expression on your face.
Don't worry. The smudge on the rim is just blood. 83. Kisok versus Recreación. The referee sent Peña off on a bullshit call. A riot ensued, as per tradition. Someone ripped a toilet right out of the washroom wall and chucked it at the Recreación supporters.
Kisok's pride. The moment it all peaked. When all the madness and meaning in the world swelled into one glorious The bartender gives a small, approving nod in your direction. In the machine aisles is a lineup of smokes, candy, and canned coffee. They land in the well with a 4 minute. If you change your mind, they'll still. Under a thick, curved screen, colors rip and tear into each other, making it a discolored bloom of interference mars the corner of the screen, tinting the dancing mascot on the sidelines purple.
Enjoy it while you can. I'm trashing it for a new one as soon as the next shipment comes into the bazaar.
The TV continues to rip open the color. An older man, heavy-set, looks up as you approach. On the table next to him is a large plastic box. An accordion hose runs from the side of it and disappears between his shirt buttons.
Operator, bon of you to drop by. Though a bit earlier than I was expecting.
It should be said that you've never seen this man before in your life.
No matter. You're here now. That's what counts. Some reputations precede. I heard a notorious spy had escaped from the freezer and was running amok in theater. Had to see for myself.
This man must be part of our welcoming committee. The gang's legend spreads far and wide.
Now here you are, in living color. Cascade, known to some as Herschel Wilk.
Your stomach tightens. Predator, caution. You might still be able to play this off.
Come on, operand. Stupid games are beneath us. Let's get real.
Sure. I was a sock importer once or twice myself. Of course, that was before I became a null entity. These days, I'm just sad old man in an ugly shirt, killing time.
No entity. The Operant Bureau's preferred name for those it would rather forget.
But my sordid history's not the subject here. It's you everyone's asking about. Old friends, professional critics, big-time players in the international organ market. All kinds of stuff. They're asking, has she figured out her assignment yet? What's going on with her double? Does she still have it? Thrilling questions all. But mainly, they're concerned about your heart. Size of a fist, weighs about a quarter kilo. They want to know what you'll take for it. A heart with history. There's connoisseurs who'd pay a premium for that.
There's no threat behind his words. He's simply describing the objective state of things.
Reminds me of a story in the paper. An Azuri cannibal pays another man for the pleasure of killing him and devouring his heart. Gruesome scene. Features a frying pan and all sorts of unprintable details. One detail they did print, though, was this. The fella who sells his own heart accepts his payment by check. GMs find it uncashed in his blood-drenched shirt pocket. Absolutely. If you don't set your own price, the market will. The Opera have dropped you in a river of shit. Maybe I can help you get yourself out of it.
This thing? No. This is just the plastic box that keeps me from shaking the Manus Fati.
Gentle electronic tones rise and recede from it like the tide against a digital beach.
Last I heard, the original article was sitting on a desk in a third-level sub-basement somewhere in Nevessa. Story for another time, I'd say. My business, I'd say. This was your old haunt, was it not? See why you're drawn to it. Spacious, decent sightlines. Noisy enough to make bugging impractical.
At this hour, the bar is nearly empty except for the hardcore alcoholics. And yourselves, of course. Meanwhile, the bartender washes a few glasses in a tiny sink, looking up every now and then towards the television.
Yes. This place will do. Our temporary office. Long as we're both in Portaferro, of course. As I said, wanted to witness your return to live action myself. Just because I'm bereft of official existence doesn't mean I can't keep an eye on the younger generation. Verdict still out. Doesn't even seem like you made it as far as your unfortunate double. Strappy coat, glasses, look of sorry bewilderment, gastropod, something like that. Even worse, How's he getting on? Haven't seen him for a few days. Dark forces laying devious snares for the innocent servants of post-historical materialism. Unfortunately, that seems to be the modus these days. Chiseling hunks of frost-burnt meat out of the freezer and tossing them straight into the grinder. Must be a better way, you'd think. Better grab a couple of sticks and start rubbing. Gets dark and cold here. You're gonna need it if you want to make it through the night. It? That ineffable, inexplicable quality essential to success in theater. Frequently discussed, rarely demonstrated. Depends. Do you want to grab reality by the face, tear off a false skin, and stare into the abyss of stars inside her skull? There was a time when someone believed you might, seeing as they trusted you to set up the opera's last Portaferro network. And yet, here you are, back on the scene. That suggests your it levels haven't totally flatlined. One of the most difficult questions in it studies. Driven more than a chair of operants and math prodigies to stark, raving insanity. Given that, the consensus seems to be better not lose it in the first place. Call it your look of haggard perplexity, assuming that's not just your normal expression. You've been out of the action for 5 years. I've been in this game a long time. Picked up plenty of neat things that could be of interest to you. Take a recent sample. One of your enemies has set up a secret jail somewhere here in Kisak. Strike a chord. The rich one. Emter.
Emter, aka L'Empire Sans Territoire, aka The Bank. Equal parts Global Development Fund and Spy Service. Linchpin of the developed world. The bloody hand of transnational capital.
My offer is this. I share with you a little from my wall of shadows. You help me with some personal research. Because I've been in a few. And so, went the wrong way then, I'd say. Bazaars southeast of here. Maybe this rendezvous was a bit premature. Tell you what, let's try again once you've gotten a bit more up to... I recommend Carmuna, personally. Runs a second-hand clothes stall right by the canal. I'll be here if you want to talk more. Till next time, up.
What do you have? Friend of yours? He was here a few days ago. Seems to have come in to have a chat with your man over in the corner booth. No, I don't think we have. I'm Lucia. What brings you back? Oh. Don't let yourself get too carried away if nothing turns up.
Her demeanor softens ever so slightly.
What do you have? It's on the house. You can pay if you want.
She spritzes an astringent cleaning fluid on the counter and buffs it to a dull shine.
Sure.
The percolator has kept it warm, but not hot. Somewhat bland, not recently brewed. Overall, serviceable.
So, here to meet your friend? Over there.
She gestures towards an older man in a booth.
Strange. He said he was expecting someone like you. No. That's a display of Kisok generosity. He said you were in the same line of work. No. Don't tell me you're in Portofino for the phone sex. The miracle is the sex. Or that is free. It's a 24-hour phone line, paid for by... who knows? Hence, the miracle line. Whoever it is, they're making a fortune on Renotel stuff. Not angry enough about it to shut it down, though. Well, I'm glad it's not our only draw. It's a payphone to the west of here. It overlooks the water. You'll know it from... This is about it. But it's mostly just me in here doing all the work. Takes it out of me. Yeah, we have a couple of kids who come in and clear tables. Sometimes I let them serve. But they're unreliable. Have you bar-backed before?
Hesitation as she's caught between a need and a worry.
Fine. I can throw you some soul off the books. I just need you cleaning, bussing, nothing complicated, okay? Here, start with wiping down tables.
The rag squelches in your hand, oozing grey-brown foam as you glide it over recently vacated tabletops. It's a race against the drinkers to clean each table, only to step back and watch them dirty them all over again. Race, wipe, wait, repeat, table after table, until...
Hey, it's been 4 hours. Take a break.
Stopping is almost harder than trying to keep up with the work. Your mind continues to race, looking for things to wipe, unable to stop.
You definitely helped. Thanks. See you.
The sour scent of urine surrounds the vending machine. Luckily, the beverages inside look fresh. The piss smell waves good. The boy shifts in his cocoon of mismatched fabric. On his sleeve, a holographic foil patch reads Marco.
How'd you know my name?
He narrows his eyes, chin raised, and looks down at his sleeve.
Oh yeah, you're right. Protection from what? Is that a band? Okay. Nah, it's from La Luz. It's the Saltatsuri Dream on neon. Personalized.
With a flick, the boy shows off the sleeve's electric magenta trim. Black tags dangling from the hem chime loudly.
Cool, right?
He chimes the tags together again before
Yeah? Alright.
he averts his eyes from you and your attempts to converse.
I don't know. I don't know. I hang out like everyone else. It's normal.
You're scaring him.
What? Okay. What?
Not one step further, bold scum. I'll do it.
Coiled, fingering the safety latch. A noose around his neck. A lab coat splattered with blood, both new and old.
I'll enjoy it too. I think I can probably come just from watching the trauma sink into your face, right before the oxygen stops reaching my brain for good. Ha! I know false concern when I see it. 3 years in pediatric oncology.
His left foot twitches in anticipation of the jump.
So you're talking to your little colleague out there. I know you're from the medical board, and I know he's been watching me. Pathetic. Did they even train you? If you're not bored, which you fucking are, then go and deal with the stain of narc shit lurking outside. I know that scarf of his is a fucking wire. Kid, that's a 40-year-old man with a severe deformity. Terminal virgin, too. Stench of xenophobia all over. No one takes down Dr. Gonzalo E.S. Gonza, except Gonzalo E.S. Gonza. Don't you fuck with me now. I only hear narco. Don't humanize him. Yes. I suppose I could see it. A fit. Easy to refer. Not mutually exclusive, however. Likely, in fact. They flipped them right there at the STD clinic. Bring me one of his lying, scheming, bored narc teeth. Leave that to the medical professional. You have no idea what I can see in a tube. If I had his spleen, I could tell you how his dog mother conceived him. Here, use these. My board condemned Prybar. Because of his history of use. Primitive superstition, typical. Bluffing. Until I see it.
There's got to be some other way to assuage his paranoia than assaulting an actual child.
Jealousy, as far as I can tell. What can I say? My methods were too effective for those handicapped children running the board. They babble on about modernization, best practices, international standards. But the fact is, they shit themselves in the presence of a real doctor.
He looks down, vaguely surprised, shrugs.
You never get credit for the blood you leave in. What am I, your mother? Rub cocaine on it. That'll numb almost anything. Don't shit me, you wired fuck. You and whoever's listening are not going to lure me in with ethically stimulating cases again.
Sadly, he's too paranoid to even listen to you.
I'm not going to fall for the oldest trick in the book, wire narc. I am admitting to nothing. And while we're on the record, may I just ask, the albino was going to die anyway. I'll do as I very well please, bored heartbeat.
The teenage boy nods hesitantly as you...
Yeah? Tried once. He screamed at me about bored narking and threw what looked like, dunno, something supposed to be internal at me. Kidney-like. Would have been pretty cool if he wasn't such a mad freak. I know. He keeps shouting at me. He thinks I'm a narc. I'm no narc, and I got a D in biology. He gave you that to intimidate me, yeah? Thinks I'm scared? Well, I'm not. My teeth? What for? Fine, do it. Fuck it, I don't give a shit. Take one of my teeth, yeah? Show him I don't give a fuck about his match. I have my own shit going on out here. I'm on a mission. And if mission demands teeth, then fuck it, have teeth.
Impressive. No way this kid's a board inspector. Whoever sent him is way scarier than any pencil pusher. Look closer. Scrubbed hairline, reshaped the knees, dental capping to mimic adolescent calcification. Maybe Gonza was right after all. This is low. The teenage boy nods hesitant.
Yeah? What? No, I mean, yeah? What? Because, no reason, alright? I'm just standing. I'm freaking him out. He's insane. He keeps shouting at me that I'm on the medical board. I got a D in biology. It's at home. I hid it so my parents wouldn't see. But just... Is it 2? It could be 2. I always get that one confused with the bladders. I don't know what those do either.
He glances up at you. He is 17 years old. He is not with the medical.
Nothing to report yet, but I'm not going anywhere. He gave you that to intimidate me, yeah? What do you mean I should be? I'm not afraid of any pry bar, and why not? I don't care. Fuck it. I've my own...
Impressive. No way this kid's a board inspector. Whoever sent him is way scarier than any pencil pusher. The teenage boy nods hesitantly.
Otherwise, she'll call me a cunt. Like always.
He shrinks. as if someone let the air out of his jacket.
She's not medical board. Nobody's medical board. I'm just monitoring comings and goings, alright? I can't say she'll murder me.
Back for the gruesome finale. Don't you fight with me now. A girlfriend. That one. A likely story. With a genophobia so pronounced, it's a wonder he even managed to talk to you without lapsing into torrential incontinence. Aha! Genophobic born, not through and through. And it looks pretty whole to me. I'll do as I very well please.
Wild boar piglets snuffle through the city's trash, still wearing the stripes of babyhood like halitosis humbugs. Behold, the cloven-hoofed effect of urban administrative collapse. You underestimate the nutritional value of a well-trafficked alley. But where there are bullets, there are boars. An adult can be up to 500 pounds of bristled, pitiless hog, with tusks. Yes. You scan from left to right, checking the alley's tangled contours for a hint of no interest from the hog. You leave the boars to their device. Silk number 3, the old silk factory, once the pounding heart of the city. Silk number 3. Pseudopod had a purchase order from a vendor called Carmuna. She must be in here somewhere. You also have that curious red disc to hand. A media specialist could likely tell you. You step into the booth and press the receiver to your ear. The dolphin's playful gaze remains fixed. Your gaze wanders away. The dolphin doesn't seem to mind at all. You do not yet have the number of anyone else in this city. There is only one. She'd only tell you to get on an aerotram back home. A direct order which you have so far disobeyed. Whether you want it or not, the number is a lifeline to you. The Reno-tail dolphin eyes you
Hello and welcome to the reality situation. Before we begin, I just need to check. Is your line secure? That's a joke, obviously. No line is secure. Your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, are not secure. Consciousness itself is tapped. The call is coming from inside the house. Now, what aspect of the situation did you want to ask about? Salute.
The receiver clicks back into place. The Reno-tail dolphin eyes you expectantly. The phone rings as you place the receiver back on it. You step away from... A filthy flyer glued to the wall. A row of bespectacled men stare into the middle distance, while in their midst a lone figure looks towards the viewer. Yellow text in black and white. Tune in. Everyday coverage. You know, them. The ones who shift the tectonic plates, fake the seasons, pollinate the sky when no one's looking. The world is an abjectly insane place. The People's Bureau of Entertainment would never allow something this anarchic to make it to air. Hold on. You know what could use a little more reality? That big blank wall next to your bed. It's been adhered to the wall with blue reusable adhesive. Sticky, easy for quick installation. Bagman's been flooding the city with these. They're designed. An assortment of cargo crates sits in waiting, adorned with faint chalk marks and machine-printed, crisp and official. They all bear the same logo, tiny gold dots in a precise angular pattern. Point of origin, Ministry of Mass Culture, Cicatriz Frontera. The length. These crates aren't smuggled at all. They're government-sanctioned from the Lusian Cultural Ministry. Insidious imperialism. Today, the soft power. A maze of hastily drawn letters and numbers stands in contrast to the printed labels above. Imagine yourself as a bird, and the labyrinth grows from each package marked with instructions on which store it's to be delivered. Black cartons of cigarettes are stacked in tight rows. One of them has been slit open. These crates here aren't exactly state secrets. Anyone with a keen eye and nimble fingers could do it. You step away from the mark. The Guardia Municipal officer is intensely scratching at his neck. As you approach, he wipes his hand on his trouser leg.
Hola, miss. Hope there's a reason you've stopped an officer while he's on duty.
The folks who guard property rights are not worthy of answers.
Socks are the one thing I don't need. Too many elderly relatives for that. Officer Morito, agente coordinador for the Guardia Municipal. Do you need help with anything? How bad does it look? Shit, I knew it. I hope it's not the topical ball repellent I've been using. Instructions said to apply generously. Guess that's what I get for trying to keep the peace with these boars running around. It's not the young you need to worry about. We're dealing with an infestation. It used to be a seasonal problem. Every autumn, some adults would come down bold and hungry. But lately, it's more of a permanent residency. The hills up north, as far as I've heard. Valle de Suspiro. You've got thorns, ferns, old trees. A nightmare to patrol. At best, they're a nuisance. The little ones are fine, but the adults could take off a kneecap if you're not careful. And then there's the really big one. The mother. Massive. Furs all matted. Covered in scars, territorial too. Preys on drunks, stumbling back from Party Alley. Tusks, claws, knives, bullets. Take your pick. Every few years, some brave moron tries to take her down, but she stands undefeated. You got a weird glint in your eyes. Let's not do anything stupid, all right? You back away, slowly. If you get a whiff of it charging... We've had instances of theft around the docks recently. All the crates were ripped open in strange ways. Yeah. Messily and without tools. Seems like the work of kids, if you ask. Apart from that, it's quiet. Just how I like it. The quieter, the better, I'd say. Really, the hardest part's keeping people away from the boars. Hence this whole cream situation. I can tell you Petra the music vendor's a major arsehole. I asked him about an old blood golem disc, and he told me he'd rather tie polystyrene blocks to his feet and jump in the canal than look for it.
Doesn't make sense. Why not go for something that sinks?
I told him as much. He said that was the point. His demise should be slow, so that I'd hear him scream for hours. I suspect he mostly hates himself. I don't get why he brings up all this violent stuff all the time. If he ever goes through with it, there won't be any shock value. Dying. Maybe dead.
A tremendous sadness courses through him.
Just 10, maybe 15 years ago, there were feedback parties in that alley, right behind the bazaar. Anyway, we had local signs too. Ossos de Som, Vadio Sonico. You'd know a sign maker by the puncture wounds on their fingers, from all the needlework. We didn't have printers, but the old women taught us. Aunt Carmuna too. You thread black ribbon through a Calvera 5000, glue paper to scrap envelopes, then hammer the pedal. Clack, clack, clack. Each one was just a few pages long. A good sign maker could crank out 4, maybe 5 per hour, and each would be unique. Ground and Lusian syrup. Now the kids are singing about some beaches they've never seen in a false falsetto. Dressed like toothbrush ads, too.
His sleeve slides up, and for a moment, you see the hint of tattoos, black and dense.
Maybe it's just a fad and the next one will be local.
As you step away, the GM returns to square. You step into the booth. You step away from... Refreshments are lined up like brightly colored soldiers, neatly regimented behind coiled springs. The bottle is plastic, thankfully. The refreshments remain dormant in their art. The man doesn't react or turn as you approach, your feet echoing off the high metal. Don't look now, but you can see through the metal floor, all the way down.
You've come a long way. Fortunately, the view just about compensates. I'm being punished. My employer has placed me in an impossible position.
A faded patch sewn into his trousers, below the pocket. Twin black lines set against a yellow background. Carril de Portofino, the oldest transit company in the city.
I'm a safety inspector, watching the lines. As you might have noticed, this pylon is under construction, technically. It's my role to ensure the lines and pylons are all built according to code. And this line, Line 9, will never be finished. Where to start? This pylon's angle deviated more than expected as the concrete set. Hazardous near water. Shouldn't have skimped on materials. Then there are the clearance issues. The party alley rooftops are higher than the building department's official records.
These aero trams would shear those right off.
I'm the safety inspector on this segment. Construction can't proceed without my approval. Approval I cannot possibly give. Since the last round of Enter stabilization, they've been trying to force us lifers out. We can be fired, not easily, but they can take... I have two options. I could falsify my reports and declare Line 9 safe for construction anyway, or I could quit. Either way, the company can't lose. That's a shame. You'll be in the perfect place to ponder your problems, and maybe alleviate them. Fortunately, this spot lends itself to reflection. Contemplating my punishment helped me see how to live with it.
The question is, can you live with your own?
I'm a structural engineer. I believe in stability. What Enter has brought isn't that. Their version of stabilization shifts the responsibility of managing entropy from the state to the individual. Human existence always carries entropy with it. That's inherent in the system. Social insurance, pensions, fair wages, these are measures against the entropy of living. They're all...
Behind the abstractions, an unopened envelope rests on a countertop. The words, "Final Notice," stamped across its front. He glances down. The world spins slowly.
There's entropy in all systems. No living thing can avoid it entirely. A friend of yours? Oh, all right. You see that fire exit over there?
The gate is bound to the pole by a thin steel chain. The gap between leaves little room for passage. Rust speckles your finger. We're gonna need tools for this one. You push the gate. The metal creaks, but it doesn't move. It's held fast by a rusty chain. Take the chain between the beak of our tool and crunch it dead. The chain resists, trembles, then collapses in a jangling heap. Regards from the gang. The metal creaks and gives way. In another life, it would have been a serpent. Cosmonaut suit, a relic of Project Altanamia. Its shoulder patch reads, 5,000 soul. If it is, then it's one of the few things for sale here that isn't a knockoff Lusian electronic disc or toy. Your focus widens back to the bazaar. The fire exit stands conspicuously ajar. You raise your hand to wave at the engineer on his pylon. He waves back. Nobody is paying any particular attention to the suspiciously nonchalant. They're just going about their days. A dark hallway at the opposite. A fine place to hide in a moment of crisis. Marked and remembered. You emerge into the rusted insides of a deceased mechanical beast. The only light comes dimly from above a set of steel stairs, which you alight carefully, gripping the cold railing. The sticker on the panel reads, Propriedade de Reno Hotel, in the center. Inside, you find a dirt-covered computer terminal. Above the gridwork of corroded wires. The ancient terminal groans in relays clacking a series of deep, satisfying clicks, like pistol chambers locking into place. System waking. Please wait. Welcome to Renatel Control version 1.2. The artery before you connects to every device connected to... The text cursor highlights the blank space where your command... Ask it. That's a text cursor. And you step away from the... The fire exit remains. You pocket the ball and close the fire door firmly. Bagman gestures wildly on the the sounds from the commercial.
You've come back. I hesitated bringing this up earlier, but you might want to know. It seems you have a follower.
Hair's attentive. A light crackle teases you. Could it be you've seen this person as well?
No, I don't think so. Of course.
The man gives no indication of registering your presence. His mirrored sunglasses are turned skywards. But he's aware you're here. The industrial skyline beyond is bone white in the moonlight.
No.
Fast reply. Definitely awake.
Help you with something?
His jacket's been patched over many times. Storied. The slightest hesitation. Something's off here. It must be slain. A jolt of fear snaps through you, right in it. Unclear if he noticed. He sniffs idly, rolling the cigarette between his lips. An old, low-slung workhorse with tar patches, welded plates, and mismatched boards. Resin on the seams, hairline cracks across the hull. Someone's been fighting to keep... Progress, suspense, quick, ask more. He stares at you and keeps staring at you. Treaties, obligations to foreign banks and bureaucracies. Third part, a big gang where no one's your friends, and there's always more palm. He lowers his head and You stop and take the world in, a figure jittering on paws. Nobody looks up. 100 conversations blend into one. All around, movement clings to structure. Sightlines, bottlenecks, exits. People move as water does around rocks. A map has begun to emerge. You're watching. Taking a breather. Casing the joint. Looking for love. With enough time, you could put down roots, grow moss, scare the tourists, sure. The bazaar stretches before you. A living, breathing river of color, plastic, textiles. A child zooms past with a toy. A plastic wolf with glowing electric eyes. 2 stalls down, the hum of an old disc player buzzes. Tarps are withdrawn, crates unloaded from the holds of barges. In the pauses between movements, one of them lights a cigarette and stares as one of the vendors wearily reorganizes her wares. It seems like a hopeless endeavor amid the chaos of piles. It's not her mess. Someone has been through. A handful of kids crowd the stall, faces lit by the multicolored glare of Lusian electronics. Behind them, you see the salesman involuntarily flinch at the sound of the toy gun. Nerves stretched taut to breaking point. Suddenly, it's obvious. You see it in the movements of the bazaar, just as you would see a limp in the gait of an animal. The bazaar trundles on, functional, but an intruder in their midst. An enemy pack has passed through recently, kicking, raiding, intimidating, searching for something. The bazaar is trying to gather itself after an attack. A sharp inhale, and you're a steel door is before you. Faint oxidation halos bloom across. No response. It's locked. Try one of the many doors that are not locked, or the open-air black market. You step back from the door. A dusty and disused storefront, closed with a metal shutter. Above, a fade. Carl was here. M+Y. You lift the shutter gently. It resists. Locked. You turn away from the store. Loose stitching and cheap fabric, the odd cotton hemorrhoid erupting at the plastic eyes teeming in the dark. Soft animals, mostly stylized blobs with little regard for real. There are brand logos on the sides, non-uniformly misspelled or upside down. Boneless flesh bound in impossible colors. Brazen political threat. The pile declares that this too is the future. The different species are all numbered. Number 1's are bunnies, number 2's cats, number 4 an anatomically unviable. Then what animal was so irresistible to the... You said yourself these plushies are sinister. What shape has breached containment? You turn back to the bazaar. You step back to the Tower of Plushie, 100 strong. If only they could move as one. Inside you. Nothing. Yeah. Stick. Plushie 3 has shredded the social contract. Plushie number 3 is you. You turn back to the bazaar.
You feel that rattling around inside you? It's part of you. Fangs, claws, nasty glowing eyes and all that. The animal within. It's been caged down there for years, sticking its snout in the lightless dirt, licking the insides of aluminium cans. You are an animal. The divide between human and beast is an illusion. Stops you unlocking your full potential.
There are times when an operant's humanity prevents them from getting the job done.
Throw open the cage. Let the beast come forward in all its stinking, biting glory. The animal is out. Check it out, Hirsch. The creditorial equivalent of a mountain. An impossible weight somehow lifted, just waiting for the disturbance that will bring down the avalanche. It's about everything. By some estimates, the entire world is 3 trillion sol in debt. If every one sol note in existence were used to pay off every loan, inflation and compound interest, the abstract miracles of modern finance, holding aloft a juggernaut of debt. The good news is, it doesn't have to come down. Words spoken by a very slick cunt as he zips by on a nimbus of infinite credit. Debt is platonic, Hirsch. Big or small, it doesn't exist as long as you don't pay it. Now you're talking. Your new imaginary girlfriend is called Credit, and you can do whatever you...
This is a dangerous path you are traversing, Cascade. In the subterranean halls of the Opera, the ancients are whispering about you. They're saying Cascade has gone looking for it. A question that's plagued centuries of poets, athletes, aging rock stars, and operants, each driven to utter distraction in their own mental wilderness. In the end, it cannot be known, only had or not had.
Usually, not had.
Then you've already lost. Some are born with it. Those who go looking for it, more often than not, end up destroying their lives in pursuit of the elusive ideal, like operant probable before you. The Ancient Ones shake their heads with despair.
The Opera's psychomancers had high expectations for your levels of it, based on their initial exam.
In their final reports, Probable speculated that it had disappeared completely from this material plane and could only be recovered by undertaking a dangerous meta-quest. Luck and skill, Cascade. You will need both.
You pick up the payphone's handset. You step away from... A lurch in your stomach at the sight of the drop. Your fingers itch for grip. Wet cloth and iron dust. Fat. Tiny silhouettes drift beneath the surface. Looking at the device, you don't see a panel or switch, like the one over there, to the... The intercom is covered by a protective plastic film. A button embossed in the shape of a cheerful dolphin, sharp, taunting the outer defenses. It curls under the edge of your fingernail and slides off in a single, unbroken piece. You can see your reflection, flipped in the unblemished metal. There's a compulsion to check your reflection every time you pass a mirrored surface. Like a hallway mirror glance on the way to a date. You do the same before you call Millie. Nothing happens. The lights are off. There's nobody to try again during business hours. The revealed intercom clean. Rubbish is piled so high it overflows. The layers of detritus are many days deep. This bin is an archive, so this calls for deep urban forensics. You jump up to the rim and like, why are we in here? Like the pulpy somewhere in your corpse is damp with blood line. The bits of waste rise up with you. The rubbish container and all. Rubbish is piled so the layers of this bin is an archive. This calls for deep urban forensics. The rubbish container and all its The intercom is covered by a taunting in the outer defense. It curls under the... You can see your reflect. How good. Take it. The revealed intercom. The container is still overfull with rubbish. The archives demand bravery and diligence. The mass before you is divided into three your choice. Nothing of note yet. False teeth, a broken bottle. Oh. You pluck a few coins from the This is how you imagine the insides of an eyeball would feel. Various slimy textures slide up your hand as you dip into the dregs. Your fingers graze something sharp. Paper, maybe. Before you can grab it, it dissolves back into the warm muck, never to be glimpsed by human eyes again. You pick carefully through the warm middle... Expired coffee, greasy condiment residue. 2 for yes, 1 for no. The echo in the room. A gasp without breath. Chin up, gaze fixed on the radiant tomorrow. A scrawl of red ink above the typed words. We thank you for your submission. This rejected submission would imply that their offices are nearby. Perhaps the building next to you. You've now penetrated to the darkest and wettest. Your fingers get to work. How the bitter scent of rotten vegetable matter fills. The gas makes your mind swim. Luckily, your diligence is not in vain. You're rounded for the most part. There are some sharper lines at the extremity. It's a pair of grimy glasses, large black frames, and what the thickness of these lenses stand out. You've never seen those glasses before. A dread certainty sinks in. The rubbish container and all...